Is it started? Yeah, it started on YouTube. We're going live on YouTube, baby. Now you got to do the TikTok. You live? We are live in the chat, baby. Chat your GBTs up here. And we're going to put it live because we're giving away some silver today. We're going to give away some silver. All right. We are live streaming all over the place. And why is that? Well, let's get started with this silly little video. And I'm going to pull up one other thing before we get into some TA, some TNA for you all. Uh-oh. Why isn't the video? Oh, I got to press it over here. All right.
Mitchell, I'm the
Here it
founder
goes.
of Bitcoin Advisors. I wanted you to see this documentary about Bitcoin because Bitcoin is all about freedom of finances and life savings technology. It's so important that you actually learn about it. So take 15 to 30 minutes, get educated, and then you can make an informed decision. I hope you have a
Hi, Kenzie.
All right.
Boom. Silly starter video to get this thing started. And we're going to be going over kind of wrapping up the day here and how to take a trade. It looks like the dollar is coming down on the hourly time frame. And that's kind of the first thing I look at is the US dollar for a little bit of a bias buster, right? If you know where the dollar is going, then you're going to know where the rest of risk assets are going. And here's what the theory is when the dollar goes up, risk assets go down. And when the dollar goes down, risk assets go up. And if you follow this intraday, you will see that that is the truth. And believe it or not, the dollar has been kind of slowly coming down today. Bitcoin was a bit flat, and I do have a trade open right now. I'll just pop that up here. We're going long with the 150,000 on some Ethereum. What up, Danny? What up, Mackenzie? What up, Mr. Gaverson Silva? What up, all our friends on TikTok? I hope you guys are in for some fun. Today, we're going to give away a 1 ounce silver American Eagle proof. Anybody who entered the drawing last week and wants to enter right now, you just go to our TikTok page and follow the quick instructions to get a chance to win this 1 ounce silver American Eagle proof. And I'm going to try to put my thoughts together here for you guys on kind of closing the market out here today, because Bitcoin does look like it wants to take one more shot to the top side of the range. And yeah, so let me see if I can pull up my notes. And I did not put a thumbnail in. Okay. That's all right. And if I get my notes up here. So I guess what we've been talking about really is, how to identify the macro low. How do we know when the low is in for Bitcoin? And that's the big question everybody's asking. And the first thing I want to identify here for Bitcoin, now I'm going to get into Bitcoin's chart, and then I will pull up that trade for Ethereum, was the higher low on the weekly time frame, right? So there's kind of 4 pieces of the puzzle that I'm looking for to identify a kind of macro low being in for Bitcoin. The first one is a higher low on the weekly time frame, and we got that. The second one is going to be extreme lows on the BBWP. That is our volatility indicator, and I define that as below. So you want to see volatility below 10%, and then you want to see expansion off of the lows. And when volatility begins to expand, price is going to go in the direction of the stochastics. This is our momentum indicator. And if you've been following our channel for some time, this all started on the 2-day time frame. And the 2-day volatility was extremely low right there. And as soon as we got expansion off of the lows on the 2-day time frame, well, that bled into the 5-day time frame. And the 2-day volatility expansion indicator gives us an average move of typically around 25%. And we got that move. In fact, we got a little bit more on that move, but that was 26%. And then as the 5-day volatility signature began to erupt here, and again, as you can see, these you should see all the time frames kind of bleed into each other, right? So the 2-day, the 5-day, the weekly, and then the monthly. And that is one of the things I want to bring up today that I didn't cover on the morning show was the monthly accumulation distribution indicator, the monthly MACD cross to the upside, and the monthly bullish divergence. But back on the 5-day, so we got 5-day expansion, we got the weekly expansion, and the average move off of expansion on the weekly time frame is going to be about 50%. So from the low to the next high here, 50% is going to take you right up to that level right here. And this I would identify as the green box of peace and prosperity and death and despair. And what does that mean? Rob's in the background here. Nice to see you, Rob. Part of the Bitcoin Advisors family here. And what happens, you get up to that green box of peace and prosperity, and you either get above it or you get rejected. And I would say this, more likely than not, we're going to put in some kind of a lower high at that point, pull back, and then we're going to judge if we get a higher low or not. So that was the second piece of the pie, is low volatility. The third piece of the pie is going to be the hash ribbons indicator. And on the weekly time frame, I'm going to pull up my secondary chart here. And it actually has gone off, and that's the accumulation. Sorry. Here's the hash ribbons indicator. And the blue buy signal, it's really simple, guys. When that thing flashes blue and it says buy, that's when you buy, right? And you don't want to do this just blindly. Why is that? Well, in a sense, that's just not a trading plan, right? But you can do that. And I'm just going to go over some of the results here just so you can see what happens when you take the blue buy signal. But this last blue buy signal right there, if you would have just blindly took the signal, right, from the low to the high, that was an 84% gainer, not bad. From this one, the blue buy signal back on November 2020, right after the scamdemic, right, after the you-know-who's dropped some stuff in our water and sent it over across the seas. And that was a 270% gainer, not bad. Let's take a look at, and obviously the results are going to be different over time, but what this signal has produced, and here's what I like about the hash ribbons indicator. Well, once the blue buy signal goes off, never in Bitcoin's history has it ever broke the prior weekly low, except for one time only, and that was the coronavirus dump OLA time. But this blue buy signal netted us a, 33% gain, not bad. I'll do another one right here. Blue buy signal, boom, to the high, 48%, not bad. How many 48% moves in a year do you need to make a career? I don't know. How about this one right here? Blue buy signal. 44%. Okay, so you get my drift here. The fourth piece of the pie, the portfolio of the puzzle, that's a tongue twister. The fourth thing I'm looking for is the golden cross on the daily time frame. And by the way, if you want to get these moving averages set up, check out the link in the description on our YouTube channel. You can set up TradingView just like this and start to learn how to trade. But what is a golden cross and what is a death cross? Anybody got any question or answer on that one? By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe and tickle the bell and, and get notified for all the new streams that we do if you want to check us out. We're doing a lot of streams lately, and we're going to be giving away something at the very end, a free 1-ounce silver American Eagle proof. And for the people who entered last week, where's my proof coin? Somewhere. It's on my desk somewhere. Oh, here it is. A 1-ounce silver American Eagle proof right here. To enter to win, all you got to do is like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and then share it with 5 of your friends, right? It's pretty easy to do. The last week we had 3 people that entered. somehow all three people won. So we're going to draw at the end here. But I do want to check in on this trade. Again, I do have a trade, a long position. I'm on Ethereum, about 150,000 long. And I'm going to show you where I've got some risk management in if I can get my internet to work with us here. Come on. Loading, loading, loading. That's not helping us out here. Come on. I'll give it a chance here. KuCoin has just not been giving us any love here. So we had the fourth thing. All right, now I'm going to go over these indicators that I did not go over regarding the monthly MACD cross to the upside here. So this is something very important, and it has not happened yet. Okay, so the monthly MACD has not crossed to the upside. This is something we called out on the channel. As soon as we got that cross to the downside, right? That was a good signal that, hey, probably something bad is going to happen, right? That if you just took the monthly MACD cross to the downside and let go of your Bitcoins at 48,000, right? It would have saved you a bundle. And you can go back test that one. That one's another very, very solid indicator. I'm going to give you one more, and this is the accumulation distribution indicator. By the way, this is, credit to Crown, Eric Crown. I mean, he's a great guy and phenomenal trader. I love his channel. You guys should check him out. But he's been pointing this one out, and I tend to go along with what he says on this one. As soon as this guy takes a positive slope, right? I'm just going to delete some of these lines here for the hash ribbons. And I'll mark it off for a positive slope. So as soon as the accumulation distribution indicator takes a positive slope, which I'll denote that one right there, this one right there, this one right here, and this one right here. Oh, we're not there yet. So this one has not fired off yet. Again, this is why I'm not 100% calling the macro low. In fact, I think, more likely than not, there's more blood in the streets to come for the stock market. And that means, unfortunately, more blood in the streets for Bitcoin. That doesn't mean this isn't a major low. And we can't see like a 50 to 100% rally, which is what we saw in 2018, a real bear market rally where we suck all the people in, right? As much as we can, suck them all in so that, it's going to get dumped on their faces, right? And so when this takes a positive slope, I'll just mark that off and vice versa. When we get a negative slope, it works the same way. That's a good indicator that, hey, the top's in, right? But as you can see, positive slope right here, and I'm going to try and clean up my chart a little bit so you guys can see a little better. And get rid of some of these lines here. Got a lot of lines on the chart. Okay. So accumulation distribution indicator takes a positive slope, and what happens? Well, 594% right there. This one was 300%. And wow, that one, $300. Bitcoin goes from $300 up to, that was a 6,000% gainer, right? Not bad. And I will point this out right now and this will be confirmed in the next 7 days, in 24 hours, 23 hours. We're going to have monthly Stokes crossing up from a very low level. Again, if you go back and test these things, when the Stokes cross up, Bitcoin in the monthly time frame, this is a very powerful time frame. You're going to see massive moves to the upside. And what do you know? These Stokes will cross up this month with any kind of a closure above 17,947. And we're currently sitting at 22,716. So that means very, very likely those Stokes are going to cross up. And what does that mean for the rest of the market? What does that mean? If Bitcoin's going to rally 50%, some of your favorite altcoins, they're going to rally hard. I'm talking, 50, 100% gainers. We're going to go over some of those coins in the coming weeks, especially if this does fire off. So make sure, if you're enjoying the content, like and subscribe. And lastly, the monthly bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence, I believe, which is right here. So as you can see, we've got higher lows coming in from this pivot right here. We got 1, 2, actually 3. That would be 3 higher lows. I'm going to mark them off right here. There's 1, 2, and 3. And this has not been confirmed. It will be confirmed with any kind of a closure above here, above 19,000 bucks. 3 drives of hidden bullish divergence should give you a shot to the 21, which is coming in at 27.9. And that is the 21 exponential moving average. More aggressive read would bring you all the way up to 35,000, the kind of, mid range right there. And honestly, it can go a little bit further, but it's still just a bear market rally. We're still in a monthly downtrend, lower highs and lower lows. And lower high, lower low. So downtrend on the monthly time frame. So we're not out of the woods yet, but so how do you find bullish or bearish divergence? Well, what you want to see is higher lows in price versus lower lows in the RSI, the relative strength index. So what you've got here is from this pivot right here, let's see if there's any additional. From this pivot right here, you've got lower lows, 1, 2, in comparison to higher lows in price. That's hidden bullish divergence. I know it sounds like rocket science. If this is your first time checking in on TikTok, how many people we got on there?
54 right now.
54, guys. Ask a question, drop a comment. I'm happy to do any TA on any coins, but if you're new to cryptocurrency, we did drop a link in the description, which is like a beginner video. Don't buy anything. If you're new, don't buy anything. Get educated first before you do anything. That would be my best piece of advice because cryptocurrency is a great way to lose your life getting baptized. The great old saying in cryptocurrency is everybody gets baptized once. And what does baptism look like in Bitcoin? Well, when Bitcoin goes from 20,000 down to 3,000 bucks, that's called getting baptized. And vice versa in this market, right? Bitcoin went from 20,000 down to 15,000. Baptism at its best, a 70%, 80% drawdown in the cryptocurrency space. So
someone's asking about putting Bitcoin into a Roth IRA.
Yep, that's my highest recommendation. It's one of the easiest things you can do. If you own cryptocurrency, the idea is why not put it in a Roth IRA? It doesn't make sense, put it in a Roth IRA. Well, it grows tax-free. And at Bitcoin Advisors, here we are. We're like a Bitcoin coach. We're here to coach you when's a good time to buy. More importantly, if it's a good time to sell based on your strategy, right? Everybody needs to have some kind of investment strategy in cryptocurrency land. If you don't, you're just gambling. So what does an investment strategy look like? It is an entry point, an exit point, and risk management, which is the 3 things you need to have a strategy. If you don't have all 3 things, you might as well go to Las Vegas and start gambling, right? So I'm going to show you real quick. I'm actually in a live trade on Mr. Ethereum right now. And I do believe Ethereum is going to resolve this range, at least to the upside. And so here's kind of my target. And again, I may adjust this position. This is not financial advice. I'm currently down almost 1%. And I'm putting a little risk on. Why? Because I think more likely than not, we have one more run to the top side of the range based on what Bitcoin's doing, based on what the dollar is doing, and based on what the stock market has been doing. Also, I'll bring up the fact that I don't think we have any major economic data coming out. So I like to use myfxbook.com to check on the economic data that is coming out.
We got a follow-up question that he asked.
Sure.
Will you have to manage entry and exits while it's in the Roth IRA?
Well, it's, really up to you what, your strategy is going to be. I mean, you always want to have kind of the idea Am I going to invest for 3 to 5 years? I'm going to invest for 2 to 3 months. You know, my suggestion is, you know, wait to go long. Till we're back in a bull market, you know, wait till we're back in a full blown bull market. And we have indicators that tell us, hey, when we're probably going to be in a bull market and when we're likely not in a bull market. But based on what the dollar did today, I think certainly prices, you know, we're getting these indecision candles, and I do think the dollar's going to push down a little bit lower before heading higher. I mean, it's really hard to call right now. But basically, here's what I'm looking at on the dollar, right? This little fib extension tool is pretty good. Any kind of a dollar closure above 102, call it 103. Very likely the dollar is going to come up to this 21, maybe even to this death cross at 104.95. Any kind of a dollar closure below that pivot, dollar heads down to $1.70, 177 cents. And I do think it'll probably bounce there. But my point in bringing up the economic data for tomorrow, which this is something I like to check every single day, is the economic calendar. Because whether it's inflation, whether it's Fed interest rate hikes, this is what affects the markets. The economic data affects the dollar, and the dollar affects everything. The dollar is the king dollar. And for all you people that think the dollar is going to crash and turn into worthlessness overnight, it's just not going to happen, guys. Sorry, the dollar is the king. Why is that? We got 10,000 nukes back in our dollar. That's why. So S&P 500 tomorrow, S&P Global Services PMI. That'll be high economic importance data tomorrow. And then we've got global manufacturing PMI. So if any of those numbers come out hotter than expected, you know, the dollar's going to go down. Sorry, the dollar will go up. It'll strengthen. If they come out lower than expected, like most of the data has been coming out lower than expected, I would say that very, very likely Bitcoin. Oh, I didn't record the video again. Oh, darn. Anyways, so really tomorrow's like no data. These kind of numbers, unless we get a very hot read on in PMI inflation, it's not going to do much. So on the days where there's not any heavy economic data and we're already in this uptrend and this rally mode for Bitcoin, I think it gives us a little opportunity for a long. So I'm going to explain my long position on my Ethereum, and then I'm going to sign it. Oh, and then we're going to do the drawing, and then we're going to be out. We're going to be out of here pretty soon. So what I have here on the 4-hour time frame. Actually, I'll put it back on the 15-minute because that's what I use for these shorter-term trades. But what you'll see right here is this big kind of Marbozu candle. I don't know. I don't know the exact name of this candle, but I do know that it has a name. And somebody want to help me out and look it up, that would be great. But basically, any kind of a closure above 1650 very, very likely gives us a shot up to about 1689 or the top side of the range. Any kind of a closure below 1579, very, very likely we take a big leg down. And because Bitcoin has been so bullish, because the dollar's been so bearish, I'm expecting this to get to resolve to the upside. So what do I do? Well, there's a couple ways to put your risk management in. One is you would take a stop loss either below this low, or below this low, but depends on how aggressive you want to be. Typically, you want to have that 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio, which is something like this, right? Which stop loss right here at 1609, take profit at 1687. The entry was right there at 1630. So that's how I'm managing this position right now. You know, again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but this is the button where you put stop loss, take profit. And if this profit does, if my take profit gets hit, I'll take a $5,000 gainer on that one. That's it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can go to our website. We've got plenty of information. And we'll be checking in with you next week. Actually, tomorrow, probably with another live stream. So I hope you enjoy it. Take care. And now.